What a great start, hey, ladies and gentlemen. It's welcome all of you back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome all first timers for another Rage video where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are now set to begin because, ladies and gentlemen, we now finally get to talk about Type O negative beyond what we did for our St. Valentine's Day Massacre special, and it means that I'm actually allowed to indulge you in a bit of information about Type O negative. They were an American gothic metal band formed in Brooklyn, New York City in 1989 by Peter Steele, Kenny Hickey, John Silver, and Sal Obiscato, who was later replaced by Johnny Kelly. Their lyrical emphasis on themes of romance, depression, and death resulted in the nickname the Drab Four. Wow. Okay. You know, I would almost say that was like what I thought. That's what like the 69 eyes were referred to as, but I suppose that 69 are pretty much more of the confused mellow form more than anything, which doesn't really have the same buzz or ring to it. So, I will say I am kind of glad that for what we know so far is that there might be a bit of a strong emphasis on things that I can absolutely talk about when we're talking about the macabre, and we'll see exactly how well it blends to metal. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. So let's begin. Wolfman in 3, 2, 1, and you might also realize that I did all of these things doing the same on the same album, October Rust, because that seemed to, I think, just kind of make more sense. Okay, typo, but listen, before we go any further, here's a mad guess just before we continue. Is this a song about periods? It is, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. It just means that I have to think over exactly what it is I have to say, because yikes. Super. On holy water. The silver bullets, all last brought
disgrace. We'll be meeting again. And on that great day, I will tease you all the same. On holy water, same illusion. For silhouettes, eyes for
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Wolf Moon by Type Zero Negative. So yeah, as I actually, ironically, I thought like the whole personification of like the wolf was going to be it was actually going to be a girl who like metamorphosizes into a wolf. Which is, well, it signified through like the 28th day is meant to be like some ritual in which they become something like satanic and beastly, which is not the first ever, correlation they've ever made towards a woman's periods, which is yeah. But now, actually looking back on it, I actually am now considering possibly that maybe it's the man who's the one who's metamorphosizing into the wolf, and this is just their day of the month that they're actually going to try for maybe a little a little man cub of their own. That's my only suggestion because of lines like, "So in the grey haze we'll be meeting again, and on that great day I will tease you all the same," which heavily suggests that, you know what, the wolf. Actually, to be honest, reading again, I thought that said "taste you all the same," which, you know what I mean. But now that I see it, it's late at night, ladies and gentlemen. I can't see straight. It's probably even more likely that maybe the woman is actually the wolf instead, and this man absolutely knows what to do in this sort of strange, this strange little showdown between anthropomorphic women to the role that any man really plays in these sorts of fairy tales and stories, with some, let's say, slightly more graphic depictions of female genitalia and passionate lust, like unholy water, a last blood benediction and stuff like that. But I will say absolutely this, like, even a rusted essence, that seems just... Oh, God. Again, I studied Gothic literature when I was like 17 to 18 years old. And I must say, one thing I absolutely wasn't not quite ready for was the amount of sexually explicit things that I would see accomplish in Gothic literature. Because I thought initially I was going to get into like Gothic literature by the means of discussing things like theology and how it conflicts with God and what's the church's position on religion and science. Now, looking back after some nearly 7 years later, I think it's more becoming a case of, if you do not, actually nearly 8 years later, I think the case is actually becoming instead, if you do not think that, all men actually have this undesirable, almost cannibalistic lust for anything that has a pulse whatsoever, then that's not what Gothic literature is. It's good. But why actually I have taken such a very unique sort of gravitational pull towards type 0 negative is because they do actually go their own way to talk about it. And even when we did, what was it? It wasn't Prisoner of Your Eyes. It was something else to do with eyes. There were some very strong themes of imprisonment and of not fully belonging to anyone else, that you've become a slave to somebody just because that was your decision to fall in love. So there are some very strong key themes that absolutely you could just turn these into like little Gothic mini stories. So it's basically, again, the only real equivalent I can think of right now is Angela Carter's The Bloody Chamber, which even after nearly 8 years, it's still staring down at me. The mad woman that was Angela. Actually, I'm pretty sure Angela Carter is still alive anyway. But she must be like nearly 90 now. But I could still see her works just staring down at me, giggling like an idiot, because it knows fine well what words I need to look for and what references and what stories, like Wolf Alice or the werewolf or any of those sort of things. But I will say now, ladies and gentlemen, is that I do kind of hope that the rest of this album, Rust October, is like this, because I curiously really do like the tone and the feel and the movement of all this. It feels proper, is the best way to put it, and I do like things that are proper. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys felt of... Oh my god, it was such a mad thing of Wolf Moon for yourselves. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.